Hi, I'm Mark,
And I'm Terry.
and we're Escaping the Empty Nest.
So hey, welcome back. Part of this video we're about to tell you about, we had one of the worst nightmares that we possibly could have had happen when we got down to the end of our tour in Pompeii. Mark got the dreaded phone call from our hotel in Rome saying that they were going to have to cancel our reservation for 4 nights. And luckily, though, they did move us to someplace else, but it was in Trastevere.
Yeah, we weren't familiar with Trastevere at all. We had heard about it from watching some Rick Steves and Attaché videos, but we didn't know anything about it. And Trastevere is a little neighborhood. It's across the Tiber River. That's what Trastevere means. And unfortunately, because of the river, it's not connected to the metro system at all. And I had done all my research on Rome as if we were going to take the metro just about everywhere. And so we were in the dark. We were totally, just confused and flustered and a little angry. But
ended up being a really good thing after all. We found out that sometimes the best things in life are blessings in disguise. Whatever issue it was at our hotel in Rome that was right outside of the train station ended up being that blessing.
Now, they said it was an electrical issue, but it's possibly just overbooked. But they made up for it by finding us someplace else for the same price. So we were okay with it eventually. So in our research, we had heard about St. Maria Square and this famous fountain they have there, which has been described as Rome's living room. And everybody just hangs out, and it's a big neighborhood hang, and it sounded amazing. And so we decided to take our soupli and try it at the fountain. So we've heard so much about soupli from Attaché, from our friends at Walter's World. We decided to go ahead and give it a try since we're in Trastevere. You have to fold it. You're not saving Christmas wrapping paper. All right, you go first. See what you think. Oh, it's raining. There's meat and rice,
And
tomato sauce. Is it warm?
Yeah, very warm.
But is it good?
Yes, it is good.
Here we go. Even though it's starting to sprinkle right now. Oh, it's good. It's like the world's best pizza pocket. Ah, that's good. Oh.
I hit the cheese.
That's so good. Now, are we going to have this for dinner the next 2 nights? Maybe.
I don't know. They weren't very expensive.
No, they weren't. €2 each.
All right. Well, as Mark said earlier, the metro system doesn't come into Trastevere. And so you have 2 options as far as transportation. You can take the bus or you can take the tram. From where we were staying, it was at least a 1-kilometer walk to get to the stations, to the stops, I should say, where you would pick up either the bus or the tram.
Yeah, it was a flat, easy walk. Not a lot of hills in that area, which is nice. So, 1 kilometer doesn't sound like very far, but depending on if there's hills, it really can be. But even for somebody with our fitness level, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so at first we decided to try using the bus, which we used a few times. But then once we found the tram, we found that to be a whole lot easier. It's easier to hop on, hop on. It was more like an express ride to where we were going. Yeah. The only problem I think is that if we had all our suitcases and stuff like that with us, we probably wouldn't have taken the tram because they were usually pretty crowded or packed.
It was crazy packed. Since we were doing a 2-week trip in Europe with carry-on luggage only, we obviously had to do laundry, somewhere within the trip. And Trastevere had a nice laundromat. It was an American-style laundromat where you go in yourself and you stay with your clothes, and the machines had soap built into them, so we didn't even have to provide soap, and it ended up being a great experience. It wasn't expensive, and it was sure nice to have all of our clothes clean after the long trip without having to wash socks and underwear in the sink like we had been doing.
So all in all, it ended up being a blessing. It really could have been a downer, but it ended up being one of the most beautiful places that we saw in Rome, and it makes us want to go back to Rome again just to experience it. There was so much there, and the little town changed. The neighborhood changed from morning to night.
It's hard to imagine what our trip would have been like without the experience of staying there. It really influenced our whole opinion about what Rome was really all about. We loved getting gelato at night. We loved just seeing the pop-up farmers markets. And one cool thing was our last night there, we just stumbled into a restaurant, just walked into a door, and without even knowing what we were doing, it ended up being a sing-along entertainment restaurant where somebody did comedy in Italian. Of course,
we didn't know anything.
We couldn't understand a thing. But then they had sing-alongs. It was such a good time. It was such a great way to wrap up our trip, because that was our last night before we returned to the States.
I think we laughed more on our whole trip that night than we did the rest of the time there. It was
Sat
fun.
next to another couple from the United States, and it was just a great experience, just accidentally stumbling onto something that was just such a good time.
So if you're planning a trip to Rome, please make sure that you plan a stopover, even if it's just in the evening for dinner, or to go over to the Piazza di Santa Maria to sit next to the fountain with your supli. It is such a wonderful it's a wonderful neighborhood experience that you really won't want to miss. So if you have any questions about Rome or Europe in general, or anything we can answer from our trip, please leave a comment down below. We read everyone and we respond to everyone because we love to be helpful to you.
If you'd like to help out the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications of future videos. We hope you found this helpful. We hope you found our whole Europe series helpful. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.